B-Bad and Brandon.
I always get confused whether I should have the headphones on or not.
I know it's I just do it for because
it looks cool.
Yeah, well, it just makes me feel special.
But then I get
Good Danish.
fucking good Danish, bro. I believe I put chocolate in it.
It's pear and chocolate.
I think there's a mousse in there too.
Oh shit, there is too.
Yeah.
What did Jay Lee have?
She hasn't had it yet. What's the other one?
Oh, what did it look like?
Apples on it.
Oh, so it'll be the apple and cinnamon one.
So this must be chocolate and pear.
Yeah, because I just said that.
Fucking hell, I love a Danish.
You're the best.
Do you eat Danish?
Yeah, dude. I punched him.
Mm.
I ever since I found flour and chocolate, it's been a very big addiction of mine. A good Danish.
Mm. Are you still busy?
They're insane.
Crazy, eh?
It's crazy because of the amount of other good patisseries coming out.
Yeah.
Like Mika.
Yeah.
Mika.
There's a French one over in Wollongabba. No, in Stourbridge.
Is it?
Yeah. I've only eaten from it. Someone's brought it to me. But like we're talking a lineup like 50 meters deep on the weekend.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Just near Stourbridge Hotel.
Good on them.
So fucking tasty. Bakery would be like one of my favorite items to eat.
A bakery or like
anything from within the four walls of the bakery.
So literally, here we go again. Just another person entering the CAPO Deadlift Comp.
Well, here we go.
I love this.
Here we go.
Absolutely love
Who's in?
So far, all the boys.
All the boys.
Literally, it's going to be, it's the comp is now called Deadlift Only, FTB. So for the boys. Obviously, girls can do it too, FTG.
For the girls.
For the girls. But yeah, it's going to be a hoot.
Yeah, fuck yeah, it will be a hoot. It will be fucking loose. Everything's on. Nothing's not on.
Off limits.
There's no limits.
I love that.
Yeah, off limits would assume there was some kind of limit to begin with.
The limit does not exist.
Nah, bro. It'll be wild. I'm looking forward to it. It's my only one thing I need to work on at the moment outside of the normal things I need to work on is the deadlift comp.
Yeah, right.
So it's got my full attention.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
I've seen the location. Can confirm.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
It's a secret location, so no one's allowed to know where it is.
No, but it's amazing.
Where it's massive.
Haha, I've seen it, everyone.
Yeah. I'm going to share that video. I just won't tell anyone where it is.
Yeah, sick. Yeah, people excited.
Some mystery.
Are you gonna can we talk about the video then?
Yeah, we'll talk about video.
Man, that there's a bus in that warehouse that looks small.
Yeah. I assume they moved the bus.
If not, who cares? That's dope.
You won't, it's that big, you won't even notice the bus.
No.
Although that's where the toilets are, that far away.
Yeah, but you couldn't even see it.
No.
The bus looks so small.
Yeah. I need to work on flames. I need fire in there. So if someone does fire, I need it.
Doesn't Coogan spin fire?
Don't get me started on that. No, I want a professional. Someone who's licensed.
If you're listening to this, Coogan, you're not a professional.
Yeah. Nah, he'd be busy squatting.
Squatting.
For those who don't know, I'm just heaping shit on my business partner.
Oh, wait. Okay. I got so confused.
I don't think he squatted in a while.
Oh, man, he got so strong.
Yeah.
But so CAPO Deadlift coming up. A lot of people are entering it.
Just exciting.
How do you structure a program for a specific event like a bench only or a deadlift only?
How do I structure it? What do you mean?
So how would you do you change anything from your normal programming?
Oh, when I program someone. Oh, gotcha. I'm programming someone for it. Yeah, I change it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. All right. Let's go
bench only first.
No, I look at it the year.
Okay, yeah.
That's how I program it. And typically most people, when they're doing the deadlift comp, it's the end of the training year. And there's no important comps. Important comps include squatting. If you're a 3-lift lifter, that's not until next year. So I focus on the deadlift and I build a raw squat.
A raw squat.
Yep.
I love that.
That's how we do it. I might add, so there'll be more volume on the squatting, less weight on the bar, and more weight on the deadlift bar, and more intensity for the deadlift session. And we may pull a second session a week.
Yeah. See, I like
as we
that.
get closer. That's how we'll probably do it. But always in the background, we're thinking bigger picture of building a total for next year, usually being nationals or some other event that's of importance the following year. So I know we've got to come off the end of this run with a big raw squat somewhere around 2 to 3 months after this block. So we have a little sit down with all the clients and we just let them know, cool, well, you're deadlifting now. This is great. That's fun. But at the same time, you're building up for a single rep max raw squat, because I have the belief bigger raw squat, bigger wrap squat.
100%.
And we push them to that. So usually my guys will compete again. I like people to compete a comp before states, and that'll be 3 months out, for instance, usually 1 or 2 months after the deadlift comp. And then we focus on, and we don't, in that comp, we don't compete in wraps, we go raw. So that's their opportunity to go for their raw squat max. And usually the deadlift is dialed back because we've just come off the deady comp.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's such a good, straight away, so many people don't look at a yearly plan. Yeah. Which is ironic. Or not ironic, but I think it's weird that they don't think about that. They don't think about long term. It's like, okay, well, I've got a deadlift only comp now, but I'll just throw everything else to the wayside and put it all into deadlifting. Yeah. But I like what you said there. I'm of the similar belief. What I like to do is take out, because I just think people forget, most people squat early in the week. So they're always fresh. They're always able to put up big numbers in their squat.
Oh, yeah, I squat at the end of the week.
Yeah. Well, you squat midweek now.
No, my guys squat at the end of the week.
Oh, you're good. Sorry, I thought you meant you. Sorry.
My people.
I was like, you squatted?
I squat in the middle of the week. Yeah.
But then they come to their deadlift session, they're always a little bit more fatigued.
Yeah, bit pooped.
So for reference, when I did that comp in sleeves last year, squat hummed along, and my last deadlift session before comp was a 257 or 252 double. And then I pulled 272 on the day. Lovely. And then when I went back into wraps, because the intensity of the squats was so high, obviously I couldn't transfer. I didn't have that. The volume of the deadlifts had to drop and the intensity had to drop to compensate for that. So I ended up, my last deadlift session before my Melbourne comp was 227.5 for a double. And I pulled 275. So I didn't lose any strength on the deadlift. Little bit of a PB, but didn't get to push it as much, but still got a result. I think that's where people get lost, and they always forget that if they are going heavy in wraps, there has to be a trade-off somewhere. Yes. But I'm 100% agreeing with you. Raw squat, bigger wrap squat.
So I think, it's not focused on enough. I don't think. I think people just spend too much time in wraps and don't raw squat. And because, not everyone likes to compete all the time, whereas I do. And
understatement.
Obviously my lifters I encourage a similar behavior because I think it's fun to compete. You've got to juggle it, but when you do compete often, it gives you that opportunity to create other goals that complement the big one, which is a national event or a bigger comp at the end of the year.
100%.
Yeah, which I think is just a sick way to do it.
I think the other thing is not every comp has to be all in.
No, not at all. Well, I don't let them go all in. I'll just let, we'll just pick the appropriate lift for that event. And we'll do that. And then eventually you're coming from so far out with everything, and then they mold together for your one big event. And then off you go. You send it to that one. And you've got multiple comps of experience under your belt, because you've probably done hopefully 2 or 3 before you get to nationals when it actually counts.
100%. That's why, I think push-pull and obviously the CAPO Deadlift comp at the end of the year is always a good it's a fun comp. They're always fun comps, but it's a good way to finish the year. And then, as you said before, build into the next comp. Because right now, I think I've got so many people doing the CAPO comp, and what we're doing is we're using the time, because of the less intensity and volume on the squats, to build the other 2 lifts that may not necessarily get neglected, but you can't handle as much weight on it because you're always squatting heavy in wraps. Yeah. So we're benching, 2 or 3 times a week, maybe depending on who the person is. We can deadlift heavy, on a Saturday. And then after their raw squat session, I put in some deloaded deficit deadlifts just so we can expose them to deloaded, but and a bigger range of motion. Sorry, so they get accustomed to that and less risk of injury. And it's a nice little complementary that they can then take into next year.
Yeah, 100%. And I know for my humans, because let's call them normal people, I feel like they can't really handle the intensity of training heavy squat, heavy deadlift every single week. So for me, I usually will focus more on the squat than the deadlift for prepping to bigger comps. But if you do that, the guys and girls never really get that opportunity to focus just on train a heavy dead for a bit, which is fun. So when you do your daddy only run or your push pull run, you do get to have that opportunity, or my guys do at least, to just come in and be savage on deadlift.
Oh, it's so much fun.
Which is fun.
Yeah.
Because normally, well, for me personally, my deadlift suffers when I'm tired. I always manage to grind through a squat, and it fucking sucks. But on this training run into a deadlift run, you don't have to stress, because your deadlift will always feel fresh.
Yeah.
Because you're not focused on your squat too hard. And if you've come in a bit buggered into your sessions, you just drop your squat out, you're fresh and straight up.
So you can 100%.
Still pull that week.
And that's like, if you're not pushing a heavy squat, and then you go, I really like it because it also allows you, and I think this is where people get lost in it as well, is you can also work on the technical aspect of your squat because it's not heavy. And you can do that twice a week. You can do a more volume, we'll say, base squat session, say on a Monday. Then by Thursday, Friday, you could do a bit of lighter weight pause variation squat after your deadies.
Speed work, West Side.
God, you love West Side.
Fucking chains out, bro. Get some bands.
Yeah,
you're fucking wild.
But I think that's you make it like, as much as we don't hang shit, but as much as we talk about West Side and the chains and stuff, it does provide a stimulus. They get a bad rap, is what I'm trying to say.
I think it's great,
but it provides a different stimulus, but also it adds variation and variety to a client's program. Like, no matter who you are, whether you're it's just starting out of powerlifting or at the very top, like, powerlifting can be boring. It can be monotonous
if you let it.
100%. So if you add in some chains or some bands, you're still getting a good stimulus, but you're adding some, I hate the word novelty, but almost novelty, and it makes it exciting.
Yeah, fuck it. Call it novelty.
Yeah. Like I've at the moment, coming back to training, I put bands on my bench. Not bands, chains. So much fun.
Chains are fun. Yeah.
Chains for the gains.
100%. I think, as always, I'll always say it, the word fun needs to be incorporated into all training sessions. And if you aren't finding it fun, you probably should consider what you're actually doing, because this is just hobby sport, not life. You need to fucking enjoy this thing.
100%. 100%.
And if you enjoy it and you look forward to it, you're going to have a fucking way better session too.
And you're going to have better results.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think, and that's why, again, going back to, guess the conversation of the deadlift only comp, it just becomes so much more fun.
Yeah,
because
the focus is on fun.
Yeah,
100%. I think a good portion of my peeps, the idea of the PB and what that number will be is really second and third
to just having fun,
to actually the process and the event itself.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, hang on, fuck, maybe I pulled a PB, sick. But it is a fucking party.
100%. Like and again, look at the hype around this deadlift comp. You've done such a good job at creating not selling the comp, but selling the experience of what the comp will be. I can guarantee you nobody's going to care what they pull on the day. It's going to be about that they were there.
Oh, yeah, bro.
And that is...
And if you miss your PB, it'll be about 2.5, 3 hours of a fucking bar being open, and it'll be party time.
Fucking oath. You're not going to stress about it.
No.
If you don't pull a PB, who cares? You're going to have a great time with your mates.
Yeah. And I think that's a good common reminder that you shouldn't allow your representation of how you think your experience of lifting into an event and what it is be defined by solely the weight that was on that barbell.
Fuck no. And look, if you're in that mindset of it takes a while to develop. Fuck, I've been there. I've based myself completely on the numbers on a barbell before, but you get to a point, I think, where you're like, oh, you either get so down that you didn't hear it, that you didn't hit it, that you have to look outside of yourself and get a different perspective, or you just get this moment of clarity where you're like, oh, fuck, who cares? Like, it's. I'm not saying that. Actually, no, that's a really good point. nobody else but you actually cares what's on the bar.
No, man. I think powerlifting is the strangest, funniest sport you'll ever be a part of.
Mm.
You just got to go to a comp to then realize that nobody in that room actually cares who's winning, except for maybe 1 or 3 people.
Like, I'm heavily invested in your results. I want you to hit the weight on the bar.
Yep.
But I'm not going to be disappointed in you if you don't.
Yeah. That's why it's a weird sport. No one, like, we're competing, but no one's competing. Like,
Yeah.
There's like 2 or 3 people in each weight category, like going head to head and actually caring and focusing on that other person totally. But
And
like as a majority, the other 95% of the people lifting don't actually care what the other one lifts.
My favorite though is like nobody's gonna remember if you bomb.
Nah.
And nobody's gonna remember your last comp numbers.
Nah.
Like, it's just at the end of the day, we're doing this. Some of us are doing it to push ourselves and at the top level, and that's great. And some of us are doing it because it gives us something to work towards, a goal, and makes us a little bit healthier. That's also great. And wherever you land on that spectrum is perfect.
Yeah.
And as long as you can be solid in your reasoning for it, fucking who cares what someone else is doing?
But even the high level comp guys, bro, I think they would very much benefit and enjoy times when they're not worrying about numbers too, right?
100%.
Like they would probably get a real kick out of doing a comp where it doesn't matter what they pull or squat or bench.
I will throw an example of Luke Poley when he did your Capo States.
Yeah.
He loved it. One of his best fun comps. He's like, it's one of the comps I'll always remember because I just had fun. And I specifically remember that. And that's coming from someone who's been doing it for as long as I've been alive and enjoys it.
What did he total? Like
9 something.
Yeah.
Wasn't his best, but he's like, whatever, it's just so much fun.
Yeah. He just loved
no pressure.
Yeah.
You know? And then I'll like G at the moment. His training's going probably the best it's ever been.
Yeah. Crazy.
Like he hit a massive raw, he hit 380
squat.
380 squat the other
Sleeves.
day. Bare knees.
Well,
he's
just got a bar with bare knees.
Bro, he's fucking on another level. But like, again, just doing it because he loves it, because it's fun.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
You reckon he compete again?
Yeah, I think the plan for him, and I'm not going to say it's a definite because I don't want to speak on behalf of him, but is to get through this training run, squat 400 bare knees, and then start planning for something, I think, well, probably next year now.
If he could squat 400 with bare knees, what would he squat with wraps?
I reckon he could go close to 470, 480 plus. That's
surely.
No pressure, G. Actually, all the pressure, G.
Yeah, actually heaps of pressure. Just fucking do it.
Yeah. Everything we just said negates when it comes to you, G.
Yeah. No, there's actually nothing but pressure on you.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. That's great. I love that. Okay.
He'd squat that for sure.
100%. Like he squatted 455.
Yeah. And what did he raw squat then?
Oh, I think his biggest raw squat was 380 at that point.
Sweet. Push it up 20, put the other one up 20. There you go. There you go. There's a perfect example of what we just talked about, saying focusing on a raw squat because you know the bigger picture will push the wrapped one up a little bit later in the track.
So I don't think enough people at that top end do that. Or have the balls to do that, because 380 on your back, fucking 400 on your back, bare knees is
that's scary. I imagine. I missed twice what I squatted the other day. Like I did 195 with some sleeves, and that was scary. So would it be twice scary? Or does it exponentially go scary?
I think it also because he would be double your body weight. So it'd be also, it would be just as scary for him because it's double everything.
Yeah, one of the things I remember Chad, he once said somewhere in a podcast or YouTube or one of the many things he's on, he goes, someone said to him, he goes, oh man, what's it like to squat 400? He goes, well, what's your max squat? And the guy goes, I don't know, let's say 200. And he goes, well, feels like that for you. Feels like that for me. Feels hard.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense. I guess it probably feels the same, right?
Yeah. We're all the same.
Maybe.
Except if you're from Iceland. True. I think I felt it once when it was loaded on a bar.
When you caught it? Have you caught one? What's your biggest catch on a spot? You've caught Polly at something.
400 when he tore a squad. That was, but obviously there was 2 side spotters each side, thankfully. That was a big one. I think the one I shit myself most on was when he fell back with 350.
Yeah, you scooped him up.
That was terrifying. Luckily, our side spotters were there too. But like, I saw my whole life flash before my eyes there.
This is how I go down with Polly and 350 on top of me.
Just like, but even then, like, put more plates on so he died an honorable death.
Oh, you'd at least get him up to 400, wouldn't you?
420. Like, I want you to die under the bar. What do they say? You live and die by the sword, or
Yes, you live and die by the bar.
100%.
Yeah.
Completely negate what we just said.
Yeah. Yeah, take it back more seriously.
Okay, let's go back to, I want to give the people something. We are doing deadlift only in, how far away is it?
14 training weeks.
14 training weeks. How are
So
you going
14 weeks.
14 weeks?
Yes.
All right. So how many deloads are you putting in there?
How many will they get? How many deloads have I put in there? 3.
3?
5, 4, 3. Yeah, something like that.
Yep.
I think it's 5 weeks, 4 weeks, and 3 weeks.
When will you pull your last heavy deadlift?
I think I've pushed it to the last week, but it's at the start of the last training week.
Yep.
Well, I count training weeks as a week. It's 2 weeks out from comp. Sorry.
Yep. So 2 weeks out from comp.
So I don't count training
deload week.
I don't count deload week.
No.
That's not counted in my countings.
Okay.
They will pull it at the start. So that will be Monday, with the comp being the following Saturday week.
Nearly 13, 12 days out.
Yeah, thereabouts.
Yep.
Actually, did I do that? No, correction. I did it differently this time. I've pushed them for an absolute pretty much to the edge another week out.
Yep.
So a bit further out, but I'm allowing them to go even heavier. So closer to what they've done before. Or let's call it RPE 9.875. Start on that. And then the following week, it'll be auto regulated to how they move, but it'll be around 80 to 85% on that 13 to 10 day period out.
I'm much of the belief these days, not like my old self, but last heavy pull 3 to 2 weeks out from comp, and that last heavy one, even up to 4 weeks if you're a bit heavier, being that 95 to 100%. The week after that, it's 80% of what you did in that last heavy week. And again, depending if you're a super heavyweight or a little bit lighter, we'll coast on in, maybe hit a last warm up opener, but at the most it's tech work. Just some speed pulls, keep you fresh as daisy into the comp.
Yeah, I like that. That works well. Depends what you train to.
100%.
Like some people like training heavy. Like, Reed, who's coached by Flash, his guys train way harder than that. They train, but I will say to their defense, what they don't do is go to the edge. They train definitely well in the green zone, but doing that allows them to go a little heavy, a little closer.
100%. And I think you don't have to pull super max every week to do that.
No, you just got to realize what you're doing and then how long it takes to recover from that event.
Exactly. If you train hard, you got to recover harder.
Yeah. So like for me, this prep, I've made the decision to allow my guys to open the tank on deads and fucking push them and have some fun with it, because in the back of my mind, that also sets up the deadlift for next year. You've had 14, 15 weeks of hard deadlift training. Sweet. Let's put it in our back pocket. That's done for next year.
Yeah.
All sorted. And it's fucking fun. So, but in doing that, you do need some more time off going into it. I think my squats drop back even close to 50% on those last 3 weeks.
Oh yeah, the squats become almost not irrelevant, but you're not going heavy.
Yeah, something like that.
I really like at the moment I've programmed, or I will be programming a lot of top sets for my guys who are like who still want to hit something decent, but also keep in mind obviously the goal is for next year as well. So I allow them to go 2 top sets and then some back off work and then another back off set. So it becomes lighter each time, having to refine speed from the floor and the timing of their hips coming through.
Nice.
And then I'm going to back it up with some pause squatting and some safety bar RDL. Good mornings, or just some barbell RDLs and lots of back work.
RDL's good.
Fuck, some of the guys aren't ready for the amount of back work they're going to get in this.
Yeah, I've got a lot of hamstring. Nordics, mate. I've set a personal goal that my clients can do full Nordics inside 2 years.
Mate, science
that
shows,
includes myself.
Science shows there is no real not science shows, but research has suggested that we don't get much power output transfer from a Nordic curl to a deadlift. I don't know if I agree with that, because anyone that I've ever programmed, including myself, that I put in Nordics into a program, their deadlift dramatically increases. And it makes sense. The eccentric loading portion of the Nordic curl to the concentric, obviously when you're pulling yourself up, and there's no eccentric I know in the deadlift, but that transfer of muscle strength, power, connective tissue to the concentric phase of a Nordic curl to be able to do that is fucking incredible. So the amount of power you're able to generate after a elongated eccentric portion when you're under fatigue, that's the transfer. That has to be. There's no way it cannot transfer over.
Yeah, fuck yeah. And also bigger picture, if this is off-season training for your squat, some fucking Nordic SOP squats too.
100%, because you're going to be eccentrically loading, which is what happens when you break into a squat.
Yep, 100%. And you're not as cooked now because you're only training one lift hard. So when you do your Nordics, maybe because you really suck at them, you put them on your squat day.
Yeah.
And you actually get to do them instead of being fucking baked from all your training.
The research of less hamstring strains and tears once you do add in Nordics is huge, especially for sprinters who are very explosive.
Yeah. I don't
know if powerlifters aren't as explosive as we think we are.
No, but if you can get a more stable squat,
you're on the money.
And a little bit more healthier hamstring, I think that's a good hamstring.
That's a recipe for a good hamstring.
That's a fucking good hamstring. Because I also like to look at off season. I hate the word off season because there's always something we're working towards, but this is certainly not non-3 lift prep time is an opportunity for your client to learn a new skill, whether it is because you feel like they need to learn it for next year because you're like, you know what, I really need good at front squats for XYZ reason. Let's fucking train front squats, or a good opportunity for them to just do something that's not fucking the same thing they do all the time. So you pick something that they like or they don't know how to do yet and teach them so they can get a little bit more interest and, joy out of lifting.
100%. But I think like all those benefits are 100%, but the best thing, the cognitive demand it requires to learn a new skill will transfer over greatly into everything else they're doing.
Yeah. And who knows, maybe let's use an example. You teach them sumo this year, the back end. You're like, cool, we're going to show you guys how to do sumo. Because they're kind of new or they haven't really touched on it. And then next year, maybe they hurt their back and they can only pull in more upright position on sumo. Well, guess what? You've already taught your human now how to sumo. It's an easy switch out rather than, oh, fuck, now I've got to teach you how to do sumo because we need a break from conventional deadlifts. You've already laid a platform in there.
100%. And I think the benefit of, and we're talking about deadlift training, it's just a good fucking segue, but if you're a conventional deadlifter, spend some time learning sumo. Yeah, if you're a sumo lifter, spend some time learning conventional.
Doesn't hurt.
Doesn't hurt, but the benefits of especially from if you're a sumo lifter, spend some time pulling conventional. If you spend some time developing your upper back, your glutes, and your hamstrings, so your posterior chain, in that conventional position, it's going to carry over greatly when you go back to pulling sumo. And I think there's not much research showing the transference back to conventional from sumo, but I think getting better at sumo, you're going to develop a stronger, more stable position for the hip in a wider, less stable position. So that's going to carry over in my mind, but also you're going to get better leg drive. Obviously the quad being the more dominant force in a sumo, coming back to conventional, you need that leg drive from the floor. So it makes sense. And it's why I always program some sumo at some point, even for my conventional lifters.
Yeah, it needs to be in there, bro, 100%. And this might be a bit controversial, but I've even got my guys currently working on the power bar, not the deadlift bar.
I'm a big believer in that.
Yeah, so their first 5-week block is power bar.
I'm a big believer in that. I don't use it or utilize it often enough, but I think there is merit in if you're always using the deadlift bar, you get accustomed to pulling on that whip and you don't really understand how fucking hard it is to pull from the floor with a power bar.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. I personally love it. I know I reflected across some of my best deadlifting times. It was done on a garage bar under a house, and that thing had nothing in it. And I'm pretty sure the plates are actually about a thumb too short, so we're pulling on a tiny deficit. But we trained hard and lifted easy because by the time we hopped on a whippy bar on comp day. That was probably not recommended. But I know when I come off my own personal training on a straight bar into a whippy bar progression, I pull fucking well. The tension I can pull off the ground on a deadlift is through the roof.
Yep. Sorry. Just vibrated.
In your butt. Yeah. The ability to generate tension off the ground because you've spent so much time pulling off things that don't fucking want to move with a power bar. Once you get the whippy bar, it's like the thing rockets.
Just a quick thing to explain if you don't know what we're kind of referring to. So a power bar is just your standard gym bar, really. It's very stiff. So when you pull from the floor and you say you're pulling 100, 200 kilos, when you pull from the floor on a power bar, you're getting the brunt of 200 kilos straight away. So you need to have that tension, is what Johnny's talking about. But when you use a deadlift specific bar, there's a little bit more give and a bit more whip to them. So it's a more gradual increase of the weight from the floor.
Yeah. 100%.
So that way you're not hit with the 100 kilos, 200 kilos. So building the tension from a power bar or learning to how to build tension against a power bar and then pulling on a whippy bar or deadlift bar, it becomes a lot. We won't say easier because 200 kilos is still 200 kilos.
Still weighs 200.
Still weighs 200, but you understand the process of generating tension.
Yeah.
And I think it's a skill that is very much lost if you just train on a deadlift bar.
Yeah, 100%.
It sucks.
Yeah, it fucking sucks, man.
But hey, we're not here to be mediocre.
No, something raw about it too. I like it.
Again, primitive.
Yeah,
love that.
I like doing it. And I'm a sumo lifter, but I like doing it conventional. Just you feel fucking strong doing it. You got way less weight than you used to lift.
100%. But it really separates the boys from men.
Which is 100%. But like if you can pull some good weight on a power bar,
transferring back over.
Yeah.
Give yourself a couple of sessions to adjust to the deadlift bar and then go, son.
Yeah.
I like to transfer my lifters if they're doing a power bar block in the deload week.
Yeah.
So it gives them an opportunity.
You need a session on it.
Yeah. Give them an opportunity to add a lighter weight to get used to the deadlift bar. And then they're usually gung-ho by the second week.
Then you're ready to go.
Fuck, I'm pumped for this deadlift
7-week prep, 6 weeks, 6 training weeks.
This is going to be so good, this deadlift comp.
I'm ready to fucking go. Pull something big.
Bloody oath. Here we go. This time I'm actually going to prep for it.
What do you reckon you'll get?
Oh, no idea. I'm not putting any, because I can't even get to the floor yet still. So we could be pulling 100 kilos here, boys.
Mate, I'll put blocks down for you if you need.
That's amazing.
Exhibition show.
Here we go.
Yeah, I think Dino said he's going to get Ebon to have another lift.
Yes.
So he's been clocked at 400 before, so it'd be cool.
Yeah.
I think I should reach out to old Reaper Strength, Mel Tone, the big Mel man. Get him to come and do it one.
Yeah, give him straps.
He can fucking, he can do what the fuck he wants.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I'm very open. If anyone's listening, if you can pull something spicy, you can just come and do it as an exhibition lift. And I don't give a fuck how you move the weight.
Yeah.
You won't be in the comp to win anything. Not that there's no prizes. Just fucking being there's the prize. It's gonna be sick.
Fucking
but you can come and just have a crack. Like that one, Thomas Lilly went and put his neck on the line and fucking pulled sumo.
Fucking shit. I was just about to say the same thing. He's still pissed about that too.
Yeah, probably.
We did bully him into it.
Yeah, 100%.
And it was worth it.
Yeah. I've started the bullying process already. He hasn't replied to any of my messages, Thomas, if you're listening. He put up some video or something the other day. I'm starting the process now.
Okay, I'll join in.
Yeah. Put that fucking suit on, put the hip on the line, the neck, mate.
We'll give everyone, the audience, an update each week.
Yeah, if you're a client, friend, or know Thomas, flick into his DMs and say, "Hey, bro."
Fuck yeah, do that.
Yeah, we just slip on in.
He's gonna hate us.
What are you doing December 11, buddy?
Come
lift in our mystery fucking warehouse.
Sick.
Yeah.
All right, there you go, team. That's how we are. That's how you're going to attack this deadlift comp or any other prep.
Yeah, I think it's good, man. It gives you guys something fun to focus on. 100%.
Do we have 10 new questions,
mate? I don't.
That's good. I'm fine with that.
You don't. I will Google you a question.
A question.
And it's going to be a big question. The biggest question ever asked. Here we go. What is life?
Life is what is life? Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Always delicious if you can look at the positive side of things. I have no idea where I'm going with this rant. So
chocolate's always delicious. They're not.
I'm not a big fan. So I just was quoting Forrest Gump, but all I'll say is that life is what you make it. And I'm
you get the same 100 and something hours that everyone else gets, and what you do with it is what creates who you are and what you do.
100 hours? What the fuck are you doing?
How many hours are in a week?
Oh, I was like, dude, there's 24 hours in a day.
Yeah, 24 times 7, 180, whatever it is. You haven't heard that? You know that
Yeah,
quote?
I think it's 168.
Yeah, we all get 168 hours. We get the same 168 hours. You make it what you
Yeah,
want.
yeah, yeah. I just was like confused.
Motivated hashtag.
I feel motivated after that.
Yeah, inspired.
All right, team. You
What
know
you
where to
reckon?
find us.
That was an RPE 7 podcast.
I was an RP9.
Did we go 9?
No, I'm kidding. No, I didn't rant. So
7.8.
7.12.
Please stop writing your RPEs on your fucking Instagrams. I don't care.
So glad I didn't hit stop then.